black people in anime just don't mix. Hey guys, Sean the Fit Cosplayer here, and today I wanted to bring you a video about cosplaying and being black. You can apply this to your life regardless of your race, but specifically this is just my interpretation of it and how that has applied to me. So you can think of it sort of as like, my origin story, but we're gonna keep it real short. I'm gonna do my best to keep it real short. So I'm gonna skip over things, but if there's anything that's interesting that you guys want to know more about, I have no problem making more videos explaining all of the things I love, why I love them, and all the good stuff. So to start off, I've loved anime since I was a child, right? Not knowing like what really anime was. As a 8, 9, 10-year-old, when you hear about Japan, like, oh, they make anime, you just think like, whoa, I bet that's like where flying cars come from, like, the Jetsons. Like, that's what I thought Japan was. Like, everyone like flew around and people had like hoverboards, like, that's just what I thought because I'm a child. I've had maybe one friend at that age who also enjoyed, anime, but he didn't like it as much as I did. We would actually watch One Piece together. That's how I got into One Piece. But anyway, I would stay up late at night to watch like Toonami, like Case Closed, Inuyasha, all the good ones from back in the day. And that, I guess, started me on my path of like, having this affinity for the Japanese culture. Just side note, like, you can have affinity for any culture. Like, it's totally fine. You don't have to be of a certain culture to like that culture. I just wanted to make that clear. Growing up black, at least in the 90s for me, a lot of the time I was told to have like a lot of pride in who I am, and being black is awesome, which it is. Like, I love my culture, I love my race, I love everything about what it means to be black, all the good stuff. I love it. I don't denounce it, none of that stuff. But I was constantly told that somehow liking this other culture makes me not black enough. Like I'm not allowed to like other things that aren't like about black people, whatever that means. And so I'd always felt, like the black sheep, haha, funny. Or I always felt out of place, right? Because I never really had friends that were black. And I hung out with, other people who watched anime. I didn't know any black people that watched anime, like, growing up. So for me, like, I didn't know black people, like, watched anime, because I never saw it in my community. And every other black person that I did know, like, made fun of me for it. So I always had this weird conception of, oh, anime's not for black people. Black people and anime just don't mix. Like, that's how I viewed it growing up, As I got older and I learned about things like conventions and Comic-Con, I never really read comic books or anything like that when I was younger. I thought comic books were from like the 80s and like they just kind of died out. So I didn't think comics existed. Never been to a comic book store until I was like 20. My first time at Comic-Con, my friend and I were in line and I see all these people walking by me cosplaying, and my brain just kind of stopped for a second. Like, hold on.
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Why do y'all look like people from this show that I love? It did something to me. And I was like, if only I could do that, right? But too bad I don't look like them, Years later, I always like thought to myself, man, that would have been so cool if I could do something like that, right? And then, using the internet and things like YouTube, I found like other people that did cosplay, and I was like, this is a thing, like normal people can do this, right? And I'd seen maybe one or two like black people doing it. It still wasn't common, right? A couple years ago. It's not common now. But anyway, it's more common now, excuse me. And a lot of the stuff I'm saying, like I said, is just my experience. So I know that there's black people that cosplay. I know there's Mexican people and Asian people. There's Russian people, Brazilian people that cosplay. Like, I get it. It's worldwide, But to me, growing up, it wasn't that. So I had no idea that this was a thing everyone did. As I, like, thought more and more about it, I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do my first cosplay, and I have a video on it. I'll put that up here. It was a Pikachu cosplay. I made it myself, and of course, it felt so weird to me because, I was like, I'm like a black Pikachu. And of course, you have to say your race before the thing, because That's just how it works, you know? You have to be a black Pikachu. You have to be the black Spike Spiegel. You have to be the black Harry Potter, you know? You can't just be Harry Potter because, you know, Harry Potter's not black. So if you're black, you have to be a black version of Harry Potter. That's what I told myself. I know. These are not true things. These are things my head was telling me. You don't have to be the fill-in-the-blank version of anything, okay? And once again, this applies to any race, any ethnicity, any nationality, wherever you're from. You don't need to be the, you know, the insert nationality here version of this character. And so that led me to believe that I had to cosplay as a black character. That went against what my head was saying of enjoying, you know, being a cosplay character that you love, right? Because then I said, well, instead of being the black version of something, I'll just be a black character, because then I won't be the black version, right? You know, if I pick, you know, of course there's Killer Bee from Naruto, everyone knows him. There's another one. Hold on. Sister Crone from Promised Neverland. There you go. The chef from Danganronpa. Those are the only 3 black people I know from anime. I know there's more. I've seen them at some point in time, but I don't know their names. So please leave in the comments below if you know any black anime characters. And of course, even reading on the internet, as I started to get more and more interested in cosplay, like I started seeing more black characters being cosplayed and thinking, oh, they're the black blank. They're the black version of this character, right? And so my mind, I'm like, okay, well, I'm already not part of the black culture because I like Asian stuff. And now I'm even more not like it. Like I'm like double far away because I'm cosplaying as characters that aren't black, right? As if I cosplayed a black character, I was kind of like being more black, you know? Because, you know, I have to have a certain amount of blackness, you know, to be called black, right? To have my black card. That's sarcasm, by the way. That's not a thing. But these are all like the beliefs in my head, right? The things going around telling me I have to fit in with my people so I can be accepted by black people for whatever reason, instead of just caring, right, to be a kind, normal person who has friends that are normal and loving and kind. You know, people want familiarity, right? I wanted you at a point, you know, people want to be around people that look like them and act like them, into some capacity, of course. That way, you know, they make you feel safe, make you feel like, oh, I'm not alone, right? Yeah, that didn't happen to me. So, yeah, a lot of being made fun of, a lot of feeling alone, and it got better in the future. It's always gonna get better later, right? That's why people always say, oh, you just keep being patient, you wait till tomorrow. Like, that's not a lie. It's just funny because the only way it could have, for me, from my own experience, the only way it could have gotten better was for me to get older, right? The only way for me to have the ability to look at people on the internet, right, from all over the world, all walks of life, all countries, who love cosplay, who love Japanese stuff. And let me like pause just to say this. I have another video, I'll put that up there too. Cosplay is not Japanese. Cosplay is not Japanese. Cosplay started in America, okay? Cosplay is an American thing that Japanese people also did, right? They didn't steal it, they also did it, and then it blew up when they did it, so then everyone's like, yo, let's do this Japanese. We use cosplay to dress up as characters from Japanese media for the most part, I know you can cosplay as anything, I just said that. You know, starting this YouTube channel, I wanted to show people that cosplay is for everyone, that cosplay is for all ages, all races, and you can cosplay as any character. It doesn't have to be from Japan or, you know, from Korea, from Asia. Like, it can be anyone, anywhere. The point is, it was always like a dichotomy, right? In my head, it was always either be black or love Japanese things. So I always felt like I had to choose like Asia for whatever reason, like over being black. So I'd always felt like I look like this, But you know, like I'm not one of them, the black people. I learned that, you know, I'm not alone, and there are other people in the world like me, right? Who like Japanese culture, who like other cultures. I love other things besides Japan. Like I'm not all about Japan, okay? Like there's so much more to who I am as a person than Japan, okay? It, you're not going against your race if you like anime, and becoming a cosplayer doesn't make you any less of a person, nor does it make you like a traitor or you know, it makes you like a weirdo. Cosplay is amazing. Everyone should try it at least once. And also, this video is actually pretty, you know, scary for me to do. Ever since I started YouTube, I've been wanting to make a video like this where I get to just talk about who I am as a person, and I've been so afraid, like, oh, what if they don't like me? What if they don't resonate? But you know what? Who cares? If you guys don't like me, you can unsubscribe. You know, as much as I hate saying that, that's the truth. You can do that. I just want to, you know, speak on it for anyone that's ever felt alone or weird, that liking Japanese culture or Asian things in general, you know, there's more to Asia than Japan, any culture that they grew up in, or anything that their family or friends just aren't into that much. I know y'all see Power Rangers, right? I love watching Power Rangers and Kamen Rider, yet nobody in my life watches Power Rangers or Kamen Rider. Like, they don't make fun of me for it. It just doesn't come up in conversation. For all you out there who are feeling weird, who are feeling alone, who feel like there's no one out there like them, you're not alone, you're not weird, you're awesome, you're amazing, you're beautiful, you have a light inside of you that can't be put out, and whatever it takes to get that light out, you gotta bring it out. The internet is an amazing place where there's so many types of people and interests. I'm here, you can leave comments below. Like, you guys don't know how much I love people. Like, I love people so much. Okay, so if you want to be friends, let me know. Leave a comment, leave a like, let's be friends. Okay, I will follow you. If you have a profile, we can talk. And you know, like, relationships are everything. Relationships are so important. So I'll end here. So go ahead, hit that button right there, subscribe. You're gonna love it, I promise. And hit the bell too, so you can stay notified on all the videos I got coming out. And right here, I'm gonna put a fun video that I know you're gonna love. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, your results show up when you do.